Mayday, mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All free citizens. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All that can hear. America has been overthrown. Repeat, America has been overthrown. Communist occupation. Repeat, heavy communist occupation. Location, location 15 degrees, 2415 north. 30 degrees east, 103. Repeat, 15 degrees, 2415 north, 30 degrees east, 10, 3. We're surrounded. We're surrounded. All comms are unsecure. Repeat, all comms are unsecure. The media has been taken over. Repeat, emergency. Mayday, mayday. All media has been taken over. Request information. Repeat, request information. Find Covert Radio. Repeat, Charlie, Oscar, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Tango. Repeat, Covert Radio. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Welcome to Covert Radio. I am Covert Radio, and I want to make you a promise. If you stick with me all the way to the end of this show right here, I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I'm going to try to keep it under an hour, but you know, this is talk radio format. You know, it's good to put Covert Radio on and then go about with what you are doing. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're cleaning. Maybe you're doing one of your crafts or hobbies. Maybe you're playing a game. I don't know. But I promise you, if you stick with me all the way to the end of this, I'm going to have you quickly, within 1 hour, reevaluate your own existence. I promise you that. I promise. I mean, are there many more people you listen to that can promise you that that they're going to cause you to reevaluate your own existence? This is no gobbledygook. So let's get right into it, because we got a lot of stuff to cover. And we're going to be covering somebody that I really don't pay that much attention to at all. I really don't. Because Tariq Nasheed is just a race-baiting con man, in my opinion. It's my opinion. He's a public figure. He's well open. He's put himself in the spotlight, and he's open to public criticism and scrutiny. You know, do you guys know what race baiting actually means? If you take a look at the title, I don't have it down pat just yet. I mean, I know roughly what the title is going to be. It's going to be something like Tariq Nasheed, race baiting dum-dums for $1 million? Race baiting dum-dums for $1 million. He has set the bar at a whole new level, and he's accomplished it. This is how much people pay for hate. And this is how much they're willing to give for an excuse. In my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, but I am going to cause you to reevaluate your own existence. If you are a supporter of Tariq Nasheed, I am also going to cause you to reevaluate your own existence. And I'm going to have you quickly pre-organize and prioritize what you believe is important. You want to bet me? I'll bet you a 1-year Patreon membership to Covert Radio that I will cause you to reevaluate, reorganize, and refocus on your life and what is important to you. If you watch this video all the way to the end. Race baiting, however, which Tariq Nasheed is an expert at, race baiting is simply the act of causing racism. It's the act of intentionally causing or encouraging racism. Better yet, it's the act of intentionally causing anger and racism about really issues concerning race, any issues that may not even have anything to do with race, but yet they are packed around a racial issue, or a racial issue is packed around anything, which again he excels at. He can turn anything into a matter of race. And there are many, many, many thousands and thousands of dumb, low IQ dum-dums who have bought into this hook, line, and sinker. They follow him. They listen to him because it just seems like every day they need something to hate. They need someone to blame. And Tariq Nasheed makes you pay for the person that he tells you to blame. And who is he? Who is he? He's a political puppet. That's what he is. I've covered Tariq Nasheed quickly before in the past, once or twice. He's a political he's a useful dolt. He's a useful dolt. That's all he is. You know, it makes me laugh that he's okay. For the most part, his power is over dumb people. If you really want to think about it, Tariq Nasheed's power is exercised over low IQ dumb people. Because I've said this 1,000 times. Here's 1,001. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care how old you are. Only low IQ dum-dums are racist. And that goes for the good old boys down there in the South. That goes for them dang, them good old boys down there, boy, they need to get back here and pick us some corn tobacco. It goes for those low IQ dumb racists, and it also goes for the people who follow people like Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson. That also goes for those low IQ dumb racists. Tariq Nasheed only exercised the little bit of power he has over dumb people and people that are right in his hemisphere, like Umar Johnson. If you look into this at all, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, all of them are lumped in together. They've risen to the cream of the crop. They're pushed up and promoted by YouTube and Google, obviously for all the political ramifications that they're useful for. And I'm positive they have a certain group of people who supply them with some money. Every month they make certain donations. And now Tariq Nasheed is going to have a literal front if he wants. He could hide a lot of money. He could bury a lot of administrative cost in this new venture that he suckered a bunch of people into supporting. But the question is, how do people like Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, how are they not taken down? Why are they not taken down? See, years ago, people like them, charlatans, liars, thieves, they would have been literally dealt with. And probably, I'd say people like Tammy would have been dealt with in the most severe way possible. You know, Tariq Nasheed, at least he delivers something. You know, I've said before that what he's good at is ripping Band-Aids off 200-year-old history. And really, for some people, you have to pretend to relate. Because we are so many generations away. You know, even if you were a descendant of a slave in America, that was still your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpap. Or great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma. Okay? We are far removed multiple times from racism. Or I'm sorry, slavery. I mean, racism obviously is still here, and it's never been more, in my opinion. I mean, I didn't live through the 60s, but at least things were solved in the 60s, and there were, you know, resolutions and solutions. This is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And again, that's one thing I've always said with Covert Radio is they are not going to stop till they have a race war. And I've outlined the many reasons they would prefer to have a race war. It leaves the blood primarily off of their hands. The people that are left can be treated as criminals. It depletes a lot of reserve ammunition and food and resources and supplies. And then the UN can just walk in, lock up whoever's left, and or execute some, you know, people that are deemed, you know, domestic terrorists, like what they're lining up right now since January 6th with the insurgents. None of them had guns. Nobody was really hurt. The only person hurt was killed was a civilian. Why are these people allowed to exist in the mainstream? You know, Google, again, and YouTube push people like Sotomayor, Nasheed, Umar Johnson. They push them up to the top. They want that to be a representation of the voice that they want. That's just what they want. I promise you, you know, something just dawned on me. Watch. You know, watch the comment section on this video for the next day or two, and I promise you, it's going to be racist. You racist. You're a racist. Covert racist. Convert radio. You're just mad. You're just a hater. You're just mad. You're jealous. On and on and on and on. They are going to ignore completely all the factual evidence that I'm bringing here, all of the points that I'm about to bring up, and the one video I'm going to play for you that's going to change your life and your perception. And the sickening part about this, if you don't know this, I am going to repeat this one more time for 2 minutes. This is for new people. The comments you're going to see are going to be by the exact people, the same black men and women that basically took me down with dealing with Tommy Sotomayor. When I was cataloging, exposing Sotomayor, it was black men who came after me. Baby, you're okay. Hey. You're okay, honey. My little baby girl was crying. I think she was having a bad dream. the even sicker part is most of these men that came after me were in my camp. You know what I mean? They were on my side. Sotomayor made one of them look so stupid that he's disappeared for years. Like, he's literally, another one of them was crying crocodile tears with massive snot bubbles. All of them were, I'm not even getting into this. I'm not. Somebody told me a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago, we ain't gonna support no white devil trying to take down one of our own. And I know I've told you this before. Some of you that listen to Covert Radio. But I may not have said this. When that person told me that, I didn't really believe him. I was naive, I guess. To be honest with you, I didn't know how racist black men actually were. I had no idea, because the way I grew up, again, I've said this before, it's mixed race. There's only white and black people around here. It doesn't really exist. I mean, that's just not how it was. That's not my experience. I didn't believe him at all. I thought, there's no way. I said, once I show everybody what I see, once I share the information, the insight that I have dealing with sort of my horror, once we show and tell the people the information, the truth, the receipts, the receipt after receipt after receipt, after recording, after screenshot, website, video recording, all his own words, his own videos, his own admissions. I said, there's no way that I won't get support in doing this. Everybody that's involved in this would want this as much or maybe more than I do. So let's all work together, support the people in the fight, and I just never thought that, we ain't going to support some white devil to take down one of our own. Well, guess what? He was right. He was right. He ain't going to support no white devil taking down one of our own. And here's the messed up part. There's somebody close to me that kept trying to tell me this over the years. They're like, Covert, with the younger kids, it ain't like that. They don't care about this. That's also a lie. It may be very personal that one person may not care about it, but I beg to differ with you, because there are young kids that are just as racist as their grandpap walking around right now, and I've personally experienced it again. The other thing that leads me to believe that is the same guy that told me this about we ain't gonna support no white devil taking down one. The same person that told me that has 2 young boys. So I know, I'm telling you, and I promise you that he has taught them to be mirror images of his own racism and hate. There's no doubt in my mind. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Do you guys know what dissociative identity disorder is? Some people call it multiple personality disorder. It's a mental health issue. It's a sickness in your head that these people who have it believe or identify with more than one personality. They don't have one. It's not just this guy or this girl. They have multiple and very separate personalities. And it's so deep for some people. It actually controls their persona. It controls their behavior. It controls their reactions, their actions, and it can all be different at different times over different things. And sometimes it could be different personalities reacting differently to the same thing. That's how deep it goes. And for those type of people, extreme psychotherapy is the only thing that can help. There's really no medicine that can help that. I mean, it depends on the depth of the situation. The reason I say that is the guy we're talking about is Tariq Nasheed, a.k.a. King Flex, a.k.a. Tariq Elite, a.k.a. K-Flex, a.k.a. Mink Slide, on and on and on. There was some talk about him being this other guy. I'm not getting into that because, you know, I Marcus, whoever, Sanders or something. Listen, when I heard about that a year or so ago, I looked all into this. It's a lie. It's not true. I mean, his name may be Marcus Sanders. His dad's last name may be Sanders. He could have had the same name as this Sanders that people think he is, but this Sanders that the people think he is still in prison. So it's not, you know, and he was involved in a murder in the 90s and, you know, drug dealing in 96. He was indicted. And then this one guy, his name was Sonny Gibson. He turned state's witness and he got out early and he was going to rat all over Marcus. What was his name? Marcus, I forget. Sanders. So, you know, and I understand why people believe that Tariq Nasheed could be, or, you know, but he's not. I'm just saying, from my own opinion, he's not. Because, again, this guy's still in jail. But there's a lot of weird similarities, like the tie to Detroit, Michigan. Marcus Sanders killed the Sonny Gibson guy, shot him in the head at a gas station in Detroit. The tie to Alabama. Tariq Nasheed's own history shows he was in Alabama. He has family there. He has family in Detroit. So it's like there's all these similarities. It's so weird. His dad's last name is Sanders or something, or Marcus. I forget how it goes. But anyway, I looked all into this. You know, and it's so easily. I read the entire case. I read the entire appeal twice, 2007 and 8. It's both have been denied. He is still in jail. So it's not Tariq Nasheed. But my point is, there is a lot of personalities here. There's a lot of personalities here. And to back that up, how many people do you know that say, I'm an author, I'm a best-selling New York Times, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm a musician, I'm a pimp, I'm a fashion designer, I'm an internet commentator, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer. Every single one of them is tied to him. Either an IMDb, his own Wikipedia, whatever. It's all tied to him. Author, actor, singer, musician, pimp, fashion designer, filmmaker, producer, commentator, radio show host, King Flex, K-Flex, King Elite, Tariq Elite, Mink Slide, Tariq Nasheed, like Allah Nasheed, like it's all this one entity who has been able to literally pickpocket tens of thousands of people for money into the millions. And as recently as this last project is over $1 million. This is the guy we're talking about. Let me play something for you here, guys.
See, in the Mackin game, there's a whole underworld that people don't even know about. You know, you hear this shit in rap songs, but people don't really go into the esoteric essence of the game. The number one rule of the game, like I said, you have to have integrity. You got to have strong character if you're going to be out here dealing with people in the hustle game, especially hoes. People think that we're out here deceiving hoes, tricking hoes to do shit they don't want to do. But these bitches know deception when they see it. They're dealing with deceptive.
These bitches know The Art of Mackin by Tariq K-Flex Nasheed. It's all about deception. It's all about the hustle. It's all about hustling. Bitches and hoes ain't no different than that money. It ain't no different than a car. Right?
On a nightly basis. You know, they're dealing with married men who are cheating on their wives. They're dealing with motherfuckers trying to haggle on prices. Dealing with squares trying to trick them out of free pussy. So when they step to a pimp, they look at this man and respect him because he's honest with her 100%.
Yeah, women respect pimps. Yeah.
then she can be 100% honest with him. And that's what she likes about that man. And another rule, a very important rule of the game, is motherfucking respect of the game. Motherfuckers don't have it.
Respect, motherfucker. Respect, motherfucker. Now, this is a respect, motherfucker, for hoes in the game of pimping them hoes, yo. This is the same guy who had just removed over $1 million out of people's pockets, convincing them that he wants to somehow now want to be, and I'm saying this is added to the list of author, actor, singer, pimp, fashion designer, musician, internet talk show host, producer, filmmaker, dancer, whatever. K-Flex, King Flex, Tariq Elite, this, that, Mink Slide, blah, blah, blah. Add to the list now, museum curator. Museum curator. This is the same guy that all of a sudden now wants to cherish and, protect Black history. Even the pitch, because I watched it from his Indiegogo, and we'll watch it here in a second. Even the pitch is so... See, let me reiterate this. This is somebody with average intelligence whose entire existence relies on only being slightly smarter than the people he's robbing. I want you to really understand what I just said. His whole existence, he only has to be, it's like being, I don't know. It's like being a litter of dogs, little puppies. And they've all been bred retarded, okay? So this is, say, the 18th litter of this female dog. The puppies are so retarded they can't even see straight. But there's one of those little puppies who's just slightly smarter to find the tit of his mother so he can drink milk and not starve to death. That's who we're talking about here, okay? In all reality, we're not talking about an educated, we're not talking about a refined, we're talking about a chameleon manipulator who's very, 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 very closely aligned with somebody who has a dissociative identity disorder based on every condition that screams multiple personality disorder. Personality disorder. On and on and on and on. Name after name after name after name. This one does this. This one does that. This one's a pimp. This one's an author. This one dances. This one's a fashion designer. This one's a producer. This one, and he just got $1 million to now play the role of a museum curator. Okay, that's who we're dealing with. Let's take a look at something here, okay? This is Tariq Nasheed's Indiegogo. Let's see. We're going to play this here for you. The Hidden History Museum helped build the country's first, which is a lie. That's a blatant lie. And again, you only got to be a little bit smarter than the rest of the puppies to be able to pull something like this off. He knows his audience. He's a self-admitted hustler. He's a self-admitted pimp. He calls black women hoes. They're just dumb hoes. That's a big base of people who's given him money. Dumb hoes, right? His words. Help build the country's first museum of untold Black history. The ignorance is just, it's awe-inspiring and breathtaking. That alone, without even hitting play yet, I think to myself, who are you trying to fool, K-Flex? What about the Black History Museum and Cultural Center in Richmond, Virginia? What about the Black History Museum in Alexandria, Virginia? The Legacy Museum of African American History? The Island Black History Museum, Petersburg, Virginia. Black history right under our noses, and we don't even know about it. The Charles H. Wright Museum in Detroit, Michigan. The African American Museum in Cleveland that houses Black history artifacts. Just like the Charles Wright Museum in Detroit, Michigan holds exhibits the African American history from the passages of the Underground Railroad. Tons of exhibits in the Charles H. Wright Museum. Again, these are standalone Black history museums. And he even says in this video that this is going to be the first museum on the planet that says one word about the Moors. That too is a lie. The Griot Museum of Black History, Du Sablé Museum of African American History, Regional F. Lewis Museum, Baltimore, Maryland, MI2U, African and African American Cultural History Museum, the National Great Blacks in Wax Museum, that's also in Baltimore. Everything there it's all in wax. The entire great Black history, the national history, is all in wax in Baltimore, Maryland. The Great Plains Black History Museum, Sheffield Park Black History and Cultural Museum. That's in Canada. African American Historical Society Museum. It's Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Roots 101, Louisville, Kentucky. Springfield, Central Illinois. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. These are museums. I named literally 10%. Look into it. He knows his audience. He knows not one of them is going to look into anything he says, just like somebody else we know. So in turn, he can say anything. And people's going to go, huh? Who do we hate today, K-Flags? Who can I blame today, K-Flags? Are you going to dance? Gee, you're looking very moist today. I mean, geez, you're looking very dapper today in that male suit. I mean, in that suit. We have a museum now. First ever. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You should read some of the comments. Listen to me. You might think, hey, I'm not, hey, don't turn on me. I have close to zero respect for people who do not educate themselves. And I'm saying on a minuscule level, even on a minuscule level, there is not one person, unless they live under a rock, there's not one person who is subscribed to Tariq Nasheed, knows about Tariq Nasheed, or even worse, gives him money, that does not know there is controversy surrounding him. There's been for a long time. And recently, according to some FBA forums and, some other information on Lipstick Alley, which again, I'm not quoting as a, viable source as fact. I'm just telling you what's out there, because believe me, there are people that have dedicated a lot of time to this clown, okay? This racist, race-baiting clown. Tariq Nasheed needs y'all help to pay him some money so he can pay the IRS, because they're saying now that there's like $170,000 tax lien against him. This is all listen, in my heart of hearts tells me that he has now officially, he's put the first few nails in his coffin at this point. The greed has blinded him, his ability to manipulate and control these people's money. It's like a cult. It really is like a cult. Again, the title alone, there's already lies. The description is already, there's lies. He's running, 2 campaigns, or he's already run one. $1,153,703 that was given to him by only 10,000, almost 11,000 backers. And it's all based on manipulation. It's all based on manipulation. Like, this is going to be the first ever, he says it right here, this is a lie, the first museum of untold black history. It's a complete lie.
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant. Right now, I am in...
You're what? You're who? What? You're our community servant? What have you done for the community, Tariq Nasheed? What have you done that did not include you managing mass sums of money? Are you going to do like Tommy Sotomayor, where he says, you know, I got that endless fatherless America money, and you know, I went around one summer and I gave black women Subway subs. That's so burned into my brain that, I mean, because we all know from the Struggle Mansion on that Sotomayor was not buying Subway subs all around Atlanta, Georgia, and handing them out to, you know, disenfranchised or poor or homeless black women. We all know that. But again, the manipulation can say whatever they want. They have these people over a barrel. They use the same people over and over and over and over again as their personal piggy banks. They're called pay pigs. Dumb pay pigs. That's what these people are. And the people like Nasheed, if you're giving him money, I assure you, he has zero respect for you. Zero. Because you can't respect somebody who kisses your ass. And you can't respect somebody that is so easily manipulated that it's almost laughable. He cannot quit smiling because he already knows, hey, I'm going for broke here. I'm going to ask for $1 million. There's no blueprints. There's no cost. There's nothing when he started this campaign. Nothing. He has a 3D animation of some like cookie cutter buildings and whatever that he's thrown together. That's it. Probably went to Fiverr, or probably somebody donated it. One of the, you know, whatever. Like, it's just so sad, man. It is so sad. It's so sad.
South Los Angeles on the world-famous Crenshaw Boulevard. And with your help, we want to build the first ever hidden history museum right here in the Leimert Park area of Los Angeles, which is the cultural epicenter of Black Los Angeles. Right here on Crenshaw Boulevard, right here, there's an empty lot for sale.
You know, just to tell you guys this, and this is only another minute or so. We probably won't even get through all of it because I can't puke all over my desk again. But just so you know this, and again, if you don't believe me, here's a receipt for you to look at. About 20 blocks away from this location, I've lived in LA for several years. About 20 blocks away from this proposed location is the California African American Museum of Art, Culture, and History. They are highly rated, tens of thousands of reviews, but yet he's standing there telling you that this is the first ever. When 20 blocks away is a very highly reputable and respected African American museum with art, culture, and history. It's just, it's baffling to me. It's baffling.
And it's in the perfect location for our Hidden History Museum. We want to acquire this lot so that we can build your community museum. There's museums that touch on Black history, but they don't get too deep into it. This will be the first grassroots owned.
See, that's the other. How can you prove that, Tariq? You talk a lot of shit that you cannot prove. You just say it. You just say it. Like, I remember I saw this one thing. Wait, do I have that here? Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I do. Here, watch this. This is another example of him just saying literally anything. And these people are like, oh, truth. You're wearing a suit, so you must know. Oh, you're over 6 foot tall. That means. Well, I'm not sure, but I mean, I should respect what you're saying, and you have a gold watch on, so that must mean you know what you're talking about. Listen to this garbage.
And that brings us now to the gang culture we have now. Right here in Chicago, people are talking about the gangs. That's what we see on the news, and that's what we see on the in newspapers nationwide. They're talking about the gangs.
Never lived in Chicago, lives in the gated community, surrounded by white people, pissed his pants, trying to get a bird's eye view when Nipsey Hussle got killed. Ran home behind his gate. No clue about gangs, gang life, nothing. But now he's the foremost expert about what's going on in Chicago, and he knows why it's happening. The audacity, the delusionality, and whatever personality is this guy, it's just... It's an atrocity is what it is, because he is taking advantage of low IQ people, and he's taking their money. What do you think? He gave this speech for free? He didn't give his speech for free, and it's all bullshit. Listen.
And the violence, but nobody's talking about the real deal as far as the violence. See, people are talking about these gun laws that don't have nothing to do with nothing. The gun laws, that's talking about...
That don't have nothing to do with nothing. Oh, wow. That's so profound, Tariq. Go ahead.
About the how, not the why. You understand? You're talking about how they're killing each other. That don't get us to the root of why they're doing it.
White people, right? White supremacy is the reason why there's thousands of deaths of young black men killing each other every day, right? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Huh? No, that's not it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
See, the thing is, in Chicago's a very unique city. See, it's two things that's contributing to all of the violence with the gangs out here in Chicago. There's two things. We're going to get into it right now so we can stop the BS. Number one,
no law enforcement training, no statistical training, no city planning ordinance, cumulative training, nothing. No facts. He's literally just shooting off the hip right now. Because he knows he could sit up there and go, and people's going to go, oh, whites. White supremacy.
Is the unemployment rate with young black men. That's the first thing. The unemployment rate is like at the top 3 for young black men, so they don't have any jobs. Right? Now, some people might say, well, there's unemployment in other cities, Tariq. They're not shooting and killing like Chicago, but there's another thing that makes Chicago unique. Chicago is the most segregated city, major city in the United States. They leave that out.
Who is they, and where is the proof of what you're saying? Who is they, And where is the proof that shows that Chicago is the most segregated city, whatever that means, in this modern day, whatever that means, that Chicago's the most segregated? What does that even mean? It sounds good, and you see segregation. I got to clap for that. Yeah, that's got to be it. I mean, that's got to be it.
That's what makes Chicago unique. So the poverty is concentrated. So a kid in Brooklyn or New York somewhere, if he can't get a job in his immediate neighborhood, at least he can take a subway or a train and go out to the outskirts and probably find something. If a guy in Los Angeles can't get a job in Compton or Watts, he can go out to the Valley or somewhere to get employment. A young kid here who doesn't have employment in his neighborhood, he can't go anywhere else because they socially shut him off.
Oh, wow. That makes zero sense. They socially shut him off. Who is they, and what is the actual definition? Do you see how stupid and ridiculous this actually is? What does being socially shut off actually mean? Is that back to the whites only pies? We don't serve your kind here in 2015, 18, 20. We don't serve your kind here. You talk about California. There is no subway system in California, dum-dum. So what are you talking about? It's just, he has no idea what he's saying. It just sounds good. Throw in a few buzzwords: racism, segregation, excuses. Black men, can I please tell you a quick story? And I do not want to make this long. I have to tell you this, though. One of my close friends that I've known for 30-some years, I seen him at Walmart the other day. I haven't seen him in about a year or two. Not even that. Maybe about a year. And, hey, what's up? Da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da. Okay, we're talking this and that. So, dude, what's up? What are you doing? He's like, You got a printer? Yeah. Can you print my resume out? Yeah, dude, I can. He's showing it to me on his phone. I said, just email it to me, because I'll print it out on good paper. He's like, okay. I said, so what are you doing? Like, I mean, I ain't going to get into his personal story, but his wife makes a lot of money. So, I mean, I'm like, so what are you doing? I swear to God, this is what he told me. I want to be a park ranger. I'm going to apply to be a park ranger. No experience, no education, no training, no apprenticeship, no college, and didn't even finish high school. But he's dead set on being a park ranger. And his exact words to me, I said, dude, go for it, man. I mean, what's the worst they can say is no. He's like, there's never been a better time than right now. He's like, and it's true. He said, being black, I've never had more of an advantage than I do right now. I said, dude, you're 110% right. Go for it. And I'm so curious to see if that's where we're at. Because these corporations are just completely out of control. If I was black, I would be terrified. Terrified at what's happening. Terrified. Because this is just so abnormal. It's so unauthentic. It's so unorganic that it just screams that it's shallow, hollow, and fake. I have not seen a white person in a commercial in about the last 5 months. I guess white people don't even own dogs anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's just unbelievable what's happening. And if I was black, I'd be terrified, because I'd be like, what the is going on right now? Like, this feels like the Twilight Zone, like that old movie with John Travolta where, it was like, this is how it would have been. Like, basically what's happening in South Africa right now, where white people are living in projects and they can't get jobs because they're white. Look into it. I've been talking about South Africa for what, a year or two now? You know. And we all know what's going to happen. It's the same thing that happened in Zimbabwe years ago. They kill all the white people, force them off the farms, they starve to death, and then they beg the white people to come back to be farmers again, which is exactly what happened. I'm not saying there's no black farmers, but when you're basing your political, economic, society on melanin, you're a fucking idiot, and it's only going to fail horribly. What does melanin have to do with your ability to fly a plane? What does melanin have to do with your ability to run a corporation? What does melanin have to do with your ability to be a fucking park ranger? Nothing in reality, but we don't live in a real reality anymore. We live in a communist construct that's purposely quickly being foisted down all of our throats to cause the most amount of damage possible. Problem, reaction, solution. Problem, reaction, solution. And we got liar, charlatan frauds ripping good black folks money right out of their pocket who really can't afford it. But he's a predator. He's a predator, just like everybody I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Nothing he said here yet makes sense. Nothing he said yet can be proven. Nothing he said has any statistical value, proof, or solution. But go ahead.
That's where the problem is. The poverty is concentrated because of the segregation. This is the most racially segregated major city in the United States, and they keep leaving that out. And
leaving it out of what?
Thing is, in this city, segregation means one thing and one thing only: no blacks. Segregation has never been a two-sided thing. It means no blacks. That's all it means. Even in civil rights, it meant no blacks. When Rosa Parks was on that bus in Montgomery, people think that she tried to sit in the white section. She did not try to sit in that white section. Rosa Parks was sitting in the colored section. The rule was, if the white section was packed,
200-year-old history, blah, 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 blah. Means nothing today. Means nothing at all for any solutions. He has no proof of anything he said. This is all just, it's a delusion. It's a delusion. And it's actually sad. Because we're talking about somebody who, again, who was just able to rip $1 million out of 10,000 people's pockets. The same people he uses over and over and over again as his pay piggy banks, his pay pigs. Well, let's finish this up.
Controlled Black History Museum in the world. In our museum, we want to owned and controlled.
Here we go. Here we go again. It's just lie after lie. How do you know that? When you show me a list of 10, at least, just 10 out of the hundreds, if not thousands, of clearly established Black history museums, African American historical, cultural, and art museums, how can you prove, I mean, you could easily, but you won't, that none of them are owned or operated by a black person? But these are all just trigger. He's playing on dumb, low IQ people's emotions, hate, and just will to blame somebody else for their own situation. And it's sad. Because not only is he doing this to people, there's people allowing him to do this to people.
There's museums that touch on black history, but they don't get too deep into it. This will be the first grassroots owned and controlled black history museum in the world. In our museum, we want to touch on a lot of things that are not touched on in other museums. There's such vast history of black people here in Los Angeles that we're going to touch on alone. For example, Pio Pico, who was the once governor of California. There's a street, Pico Boulevard, named after him.
Whoa, K-Flex? Now, wait a minute. I thought, because you say this constantly, white supremacy is so rampant and so powerful, and it dictates every aspect of black Americans' lives day to day to day to day. It's so powerful. But what, 100 and some years ago, there was a black governor? Oh, yeah. So let me ask you this. Does one personality, say Tariq Nasheed, or who is this? Is this Tariq Nasheed? Because which one of them rants and raves about white supremacy and how much of a grip they have on black Americans and how they can't even, the segregation and Rosa Parks, and you can't get a job just because you're black, even though doors are wide open and they've been for many years, called affirmative action for any black person with any skill level to get almost any job. All they have to do is show up. Literally, that's all they have to do. But not when you're Tariq Nasheed. Pay me.
He had black ancestry. Francisco Reyes, who was the first mayor of Los Angeles, he had black ancestry.
So the first mayor of Los Angeles had melanin in his skin? Well, that can't be. That cannot be. How are these white supremacists allowing these people to occupy public office?
The grandmother of Los Angeles, Biddy Mason, who was a former slave who became the wealthiest woman in California. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff in the museum.
So the wealthiest woman in California's history was a black woman? That can't be.
Also in the museum, we're going to have 5 basic sections. We're going to have a master teacher section where we talk about the teachings of John Henry Clark, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Amos Wilson. We're going to have another section for black inventors. We're going to talk about the black people who invented things like the modern refrigeration system, the modern toilet system, the modern home security system, and so much more. We're also going to have a section talking about black explorers. We're going to talk about people like Estevanico the Moor, who was very instrumental in discovering a lot of spaces here in the North American continent. Speaking of Moors, we're going to talk about the black Moors who conquered Southern Europe. The black Moors are never talked about in museums. This is going to be the first time it's talked about in our museum. We're also going to have a section talking about black rebel leaders, like the Black Seminoles, like other black Maroons. We're also going to have a section talking about the real history of black music, particularly the foundation of black American history.
The real history, Tariq? Oh my God, is this groundbreaking? Nobody knows the real history. Only Tariq Nasheed does, and you have to pay him over $1 million to get the secret, buried real history. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking clown. Oh my God, this is why I can't do this, man, because it enrages me. It enrages me that somebody can manipulate so many people and do damage to so many people who are getting nothing in return, because this is what's going to happen. Mark my words, and I promise you this. Hold on, let me get some.
that shit no more, man. People are just coming in the game, salting the game up, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. And you got to respect the game. And that's, again, in any game you do, even in the NBA. I like to use that analogy. Because you had Michael Jordan, you had Magic Johnson, who were great players, and they were great because they respected the game. They never got into all that bullshit.
Yeah, you got Tariq Nasheed, you got Umar Johnson, you got Tommy Sotomayor. That's because they had mutual respect, because they respect the hustle. They respect the game, cuz. They respect the game. And they do respect each other. Tommy based his entire scam of fatherless America after Nasheed's true colors, hidden colors, whatever it is. The museum is based off of the school scam by Umar Johnson. Round and round and round and round and round and round we go. Nobody wins except 3 guys. That's it. Tens and tens and tens of thousands of people involved. There are 3 people who benefit. That's it. And that's what's going to happen here with this scam. I'm sorry, it may not be a scam. It might really happen. But I'm telling you what else is going to happen. And I promise you this. There will absolutely... There's going to be several, maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4, but guaranteed 2 or 3 brand new, fully produced, new, even more rented vehicles, even more rented venues, even more $75,000, what is it, Mink slide, videos from the 90s. I mean, how much do you got to pay, really, to rewind the clock 30 years? How much? Like, your director of photography, the director, are they in their 50s? Because, I mean, we're talking, like, just gay. I mean, we're talking ridiculously gay. Mink, I'm going to give you your AKA, Mink, AKA 1992 called. They want their light in the loafers, Montel Jordan wannabe back. That's who they want back. This is how we do it. But I guarantee you this money is going to also buy several Mink slide videos with their 1992 hot garbage. More rented cars, more scantily clad male dancers. Dancing around him constantly. Cake flex. Did you notice that? Every one of those videos, Cake flex, or K-flex, I'm sorry, I thought every one of them have men dancing around him. But see, all these videos are only going to be produced after he comes back from another vacation in Brazil or, wherever he wants to go this time. He'll go for a month again and, he'll again go completely alone. No wife, no nothing. He'll have his Brazilian boy romp or whatever he does down there in the heart of the world's lungs. And this is how we do it. Come on, give us some K-flex, y'all. Come on.
Wash your ass. You got to wash your ass.
Yeah.
You got to wash your ass.
Yeah.
Wash your ass. You got to wash your ass. You got to wash your ass. Wash it. Squash it. I say you wash your ass.
Yeah, that's what's up right there. Man, that's what's up right there. Black, and this will be the first all black owned, black run museum in the world. You have a ground floor opportunity. I'm wearing a $1,000 suit and I have my Tariq Nasheed voice on, and this is how I talk. I emphasize certain words.
You got to wash your ass. You got to wash your ass. Wash your ass. Just grab a douche. Open up your puss and squash it.
Squash that asshole. Right. This is the guy who's trying, not trying, he did convince over 10,000 people that his new dream is to dive into history. He wants to be surrounded by it. He wants to, he wants to cultivate it. He wants to present it. He wants to now be a museum curator. And it only cost $1 million. There's no, there's nothing to back that up. I mean, just make up a number. It'll be about $1 million. Show me one piece of paper. How much is the Havoc going to be for this? HVAC, how much? What's the foundation gonna? I mean, literally, just let's see if I can get $1 million off these idiots, right? That's really what this is. And if you think it's any different, then you literally are below a low IQ dum-dum. You're worse. His entire history shows a very obvious mental disorder, an extreme amount of delusion and disproportionate identity disorder, and a massive amount of greed. Because if it is true that he does have a $175,000 tax lien, on top of being unemployed, on top of living in a $2 million house that, a bunch of poor black people bought him, now he's had $1 million put into his lap. So if you've already ripped the government off for $170-some thousand, what are you going to do with $1 million? Pimping ain't easy, yo. This guy's, he lives above his means. That's greed. That is an extreme amount of greed. Again, if the tax lien issue is true, hey, it's on you. But like I said, round and round and round we go. They all wash each other's hands, backs, whatever. Tariq, look on YouTube. Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson congratulates Tariq Nasheed for ripping the same people off, but you got $1 million. Hey, mention my name so I can get some money too. I got a money pit too that's never going to end. And watch the zoning issues, the this, and it'll definitely be blamed on white people. Just how Umar Johnson does. Just blame it on white people. Blame it on white people. See, nobody thinks, don't you think, let's think about this. This guy lives far beyond his means. This is what a responsible, truly caring advocate of black history would have done. Why, Tariq Nasheed, did you not set up some sort of an endowment to support black history? You could have easily established a Tariq Nasheed endowment or the Tariq Nasheed family, put it in one of your kids or your kids' names, all with the purpose to educate or continue the education of black history. You could have created an endowment and spread it across multiple museums that already exist. No. Because if I would do that, I can't, buy a new Bentley. I can't create 2 or 3 more Mink cake slide videos or whatever they are. No. He hasn't even taken 1% out of the millions of dollars that he's taken off of black folks. Not even 1% has been set up in a trust, some sort of a college or grant fund, no endowment, nothing to help black people. Nothing. He takes and takes and takes and takes and takes and takes, and it's all to continue this illusion, feed his delusions, and fund his lavish, extravagant lifestyle. Lengthy vacations, and you just keep giving him money. You just keep giving him money. You're paying for auto-tuned, way overproduced 1992 hot garbage. Auto-tune delusion is what your money's going to. You're paying for that. You're paying for his delusions. His split lip smacking personalities. Each one of them are going to get a couple 100,000 now. You understand that? Each one of his personalities, they're going to all whack up a million, right? 1.1 million. You know, here's the truth. And I do got to say this. The guy may have, many, many personalities. It's true. Yeah, I mean, this is completely observational truth. Many, many personalities. But one thing ties them all together. There is one thing that holds all of his personalities together. All of them. One thing. The fact is, they are all really, really, really moist. And I mean, I'm saying like moist. Every one of them. Whether he's K-Flex, Cake Flex, King this, shit that, whatever. Every one of them, they do have the moist factor in common. And again, I can't underline this enough. We're talking really, 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 really wet. Wet and moist. Right? Here we go.
Yeah. Throw that boy pussy. Roll that, 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 throw that boy pussy. Roll that boy pussy. Roll that. Yeah, you got me looking. Yeah. Thinking about fucking. Yeah. Let me get a rubber. Beat it from the bag. Round of applause. Make that ass clap, 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 clap that ass in the split. Let me see you clap that ass like a bitch. Yeah, I'm trying to get you back home and see if you can clap that ass on this dick. Yeah, I see you over there twerking. That ass got my attention. I hit your ass with this dick. Send that ass home lipping. Look, what's your real name? And not your jack name. Bend it over, bust it open, bring it back, man. Hold it open, I'ma eat it like a Pac-Man. I'm trying to beat it out the frame and give you back pains, cause I'm nastier than him, and I got more cash than him. And I was trying to fuck
Moist.
his friend, but
Moist.
you got more ass
Moist.
than him. Yeah, I see you over there twerking.
Moist.
That ass got my attention.
Moist, moist.
I won't see you throw that, throw that, throw that, throw that, throw that boy pussy. Roll that boy pussy. Throw that boy pussy.
Pussy, pussy, throw that boy pussy. Moist, moist. It don't get much moister than that. Ain't that right, K-Foot? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Trump. Yeah, that's K-Flex right there. Oh, yeah. Who this here? Who this right here?
They didn't get into trouble. They kept that shit on the up and up, and they respected the game, and the game respected them.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas you had a person like Dennis Rodman, who was a good player, but Dennis didn't respect the game. Niggas used to come to practice with no shoes on, come to games with miniskirts and flip-flops and shit, and they got rid of him. So the game is never about you. You got to respect the game, because when you start thinking with ego again, you start thinking that I'm the flyest motherfucker, I'm this, I'm that, and the game is always larger than you.
Ooh, who that? That K-Flex right there, too? That K-Flex right there? Oh, shit, huh? Oh, my. Let's see where we at on time. Dang it, man. I didn't want to make this long. Guys, listen. Everything here is just receipts, factual base, observation, opinion. It's all combined. What I'm about to show you is going to change your life. It's only going to take about 10 to 15 more minutes. As a human being, Please don't ever come around here again if you've given money to Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Tommy Sotomayor. Do not come here again. Never, ever give them one more penny until you see this. And then I want you to reevaluate your own life. I want you to reevaluate what you think is important. And I want you to understand that you are doing nothing but funding grown men's delusions. Delusions that they are some sort of a musician from 1992. Delusions that they are a responsible principal psychologist. Delusions that they are some sort of a radio show host. You're funding grown men's psychotic delusions. These are the people that need your help. Please watch us for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Hey, rafiki yangu. Wewe, habari yako?
We are entering a city within the city. It's not a physical place. It has no borders. It's rather an hallucination inhabited by tens of thousands of kids. A dark, obscure, and brutal place, hidden inside many plastic bottles. If you open them and sniff what's inside, you'll wake up in a world of zombies. This is the story of the zombies of Nairobi. This is one of Nairobi's many dump sites. This place is surreal. If you were here now, you would feel the smell of shit and trash piled up throughout the years. Our journey into the city of zombies starts here. The desperate who live in this place obsessively inhale the fumes of a yellow liquid that they carry around everywhere. They're intoxicated. They're hungry.
Nini? Glue. Na itafanya nini? Kama utavuta glue. Itafanya nini? Kwa nini unatumia gamu? Lesi ya nini?
Maisha, mashida za hofu. Anja. Ukivuta lazima ukuwe na morali ya kazi na mentality kwanza inapotea ile ya njaa.
We climb on top of the garbage hill where other guys scavenge trash piles next to a group of marabous. It's like walking on the back of a foul-smelling monster that occupies the center of a neighborhood, inhabited by a number of animals, insects, bacteria, and human beings who make a living collecting stuff on top of it. None of them walk without their glue.
Nagamu. Wewe una gamu? Wewe unatumia gamu? Na gamu na wewe huyu. Nionyeshe.
Many of them are so dazed that they experience brain blackouts, passing out for a few minutes.
Unasikia nini? Unasikia nini?
The solvents inside the glue can cause effects similar to a hangover. It's a depressant substance that can cause loss of concentration and lack of coordination.
But it can also induce hallucinations and transform you into a very hostile and aggressive person. The guys around us are friendly, but also very unstable.
What happened to you?
Knife. My friend, I took somebody guy money, nachukua naeka kwa mfuko yangu, ananinyang'anya, si tunaanza kupigana. Nilikuwa navuta gum, yani venye unavuta gum, yani na kuuse mind. Yani dapin ikanipa mariziki ya tumbo.
Lakini katika siku moja unaweza kupata Pesa ngapi?
Utapata 150.
1.5 years are enough just for something to eat once a day and for a quarter of a bottle of glue, one of the most popular drugs among Kenya's 300,000 homeless children. 60,000 of them live here in Nairobi.
We're going to show you how easy it is to buy glue in Nairobi in a slum. This is Evans. He's 13 years old. He's been sniffing glue for so many years already. There's a shoemaker over there. He's going to go and get it and come back.
The boy walks inside the shack. And moments later, there he is.
See, now he's got it. He's bought it for 20 shillings. Look at it. Very easy.
We empty his bottle and let him go,
Okay, asante, eh?
aware of the fact that he's going to get some more glue within a few minutes. What's absurd is that everything happens in broad daylight. The slums are full of shoemakers who don't care about making a few bucks selling glue to street children.
Mtoto mmoja amekuja hapa na amenunua gamu. Kwa nini unauza gamu na watoto wa mitaani?
Tunashona viatu, kutengeneza viatu repair, kuweka sol. Hiyo tu ni kazi yetu.
See, even when the evidence is there, they deny it.
Like many African metropolises, Nairobi is a city that wears you out. Millions of people survive on an economy of small things, of old, second-hand and patched-up stuff. Welcome to the world below $1 a day. If you make it, good for you. Otherwise, it's your fucking problem. And once the youth sees opportunities being stripped from them day after day, you know what might come next. Violence.
This is a tunnel in Nairobi where a gang of robbers lives. They use mainly knives and machetes.
This is an injury.
Why were you fighting?
I fight for my life.
What do you do for a living?
Kakara, kuibia watu. Mimi nina 18.
Na umeishi kwa wakati gani katika mtani?
Toka 206. Mimi huwa nanyonga watu. Kwa saa hii. Nyonga na hii. Hivi. Kutishia. Shikaya hivi. Utatoa ama hapa.
Nairobi's underground tunnels are full of desperate kids. This guy, who lost his right arm in an accident, pulls out a plastic bottle.
Like this one.
The liquid inside it is transparent. It looks like water, but it's not. It's a toxic inhalant that has become very popular here over the past few years. It's called mafuta ndege, jet fuel. It's composed by hydrocarbons, especially kerosene, plus chemical additives such as icing inhibitors to make sure the fuel doesn't freeze at the low temperatures above 30,000 feet. It's highly toxic and very, very cheap. In the southeastern suburbs, not far from Jomo Kenyatta Airport, it has become the drug of choice for many street children who seek a quick relief from stress and anxiety.
It's sufficient to just pour some liquid on a small rag and inhale it, to be immediately hit by a rapid sequence of dizziness, vertigo, and hallucinations. Yet exactly like glue, it lasts only for a few minutes. In order to get a lasting effect, the young jet fuel junkies need to sniff hundreds of times a day. Cardiovascular collapse and respiratory distress are the most common consequences. Not to mention the frequent brain blackouts, which can cause devastating damage. This boy is so stoned that basically he just fell and he hit his head. Umenunua nini?
Mlango kubwa. Kuna mali mtu anajificha anauza.
So, who's this dealer hiding in the area of Mlango Kubwa? After a few phone calls, we are told where he lives.
We're entering now Mlango Kubwa, one of the most dangerous areas in Nairobi and one of the most dangerous in Africa.
Another reason to be careful is that a number of Islamist militants with the Al-Shabaab group live here. At the end of the road, there is a small square where a group of boys and girls bizarrely stares at us. They look lost.
This is an area where a lot of drug addicts meet. Most of these kids sniff glue and some of them use
jet fuel as well. Okay, let's go. Their dealer lives in this barrack, and once inside, we're stunned. We find ourselves face to face with an old polymyelitic who shows us his best merchandise, jet fuel. He tells us he gets it from intermediaries who steal it from the airport or the companies producing it.
60 shillings. This one.
Unajua kitambo walikuwa wanapenda gamu, lakini siku hizi wameturn kwa hii.
How many children come here to buy? Every day, I mean.
More than 100.
What's the point of selling this if you know that it damages children so much?
Unajua wakati hiyo tukiuza, unajua problems una otherwise ya kupata hii pesa. Sasa inabidi tu inafanya tu for the sake of money.
You're not afraid that police will come and arrest you?
You bribe them with 500 and then they go away.
Aluda.
Once out of his barrack, we find ourselves in a waking nightmare. What's freaking us out is that it really feels like being surrounded by zombies. Guys who have gone mad and who try to talk to us, even though it's impossible to understand what they're saying. We feel very, very uneasy.
Mambo vipi? Hii ni mtoto wako? Ngoja, guarda. Bambino gioca con la bottiglia piena di colla. Hii ni nini?
Hii moja ni glue.
Ni glue, lakini sio nzuri kwa mtoto. Mtoto anatumia glue?
Hapana.
Lakini wewe unavua?
I want us to people to help us.
Wherever we look, we see eyes at half-mast, lips sucking from bottles, catatonic or hostile expressions.
Check the camera. What about your stomach?
Until Mark, our guide through this living hell, warns us.
We have to go.
We have to go. Why?
No cameras. I'm seeing a different movement.
I think we have to go now because the situation is getting out of hand. So we need to leave. Wait. Yeah. Let's go. Hey, okay. Sorry. Let's go. We follow his instructions and we walk away, a bit shaken by the place we've just seen. These kids are unpredictable. Some of them follow us. Oh, wait. Okay. Wait, kuja. No. Wait. Easy. Take it easy. Okay, twende tafadhali. Let's go. Let's move the car now, please. Glenn.
Nairobi is full of zombie towns like Mlango Kubwa. This is Kayole, another junkie area where many street children meet. Among them, there are many single mothers.
Mtu anavutanga kwa jia stress, kwa jisa zingine umefungiwa nyumba, unalala nje, utafanya nini? Utamwangalia, lazima uvute, utamwangalia na mtafute kitu ya kukula.
She's sniffing that stuff, and at the same time, I'm wondering how is she going to take care of this baby?
The young boys and the girls are given the clue to sleep. So the mom can go out and loiter, look for men to fuck them and give them money. Nowhere to sleep, nowhere to eat, nowhere, nothing. Look the way he looks like.
Look at.
He's pregnant.
She don't have a
husband nowhere.
It is almost impossible to raise a child with no husband, no family, no help, no home, no money, and an obsessive solvent addiction.
Many of these kids end up wandering around like stray dogs, Steve is one of them.
Mama yako anajua kwamba wewe unavuta misii?
Lakini alinipatanga siku moja, nikagogo kama mnyama, nikaskijil, nikahopa, nikahepa nyumbani. Kutoroka nyumbani, nikaanza kulala na akina skijil. Lakini skijil wakanionyesha mafomu. Sasa nikazoea.
Steve and his friends survived collecting trash. Once they've got enough, they sell it for a few shillings to some intermediaries who then sell it back to bigger collecting centers. With a few coins he made, he and his friends can get themselves some stuff. The moment later, there he is, with a bottle of jet fuel in his hand.
Good.
When you're only 11 years old, the word consequence isn't part of your vocabulary yet. Intoxicating yourself with kerosene is just a game like any other.
This is microphone. Lakini hakuna kitu naimba. Lakini wakamsahau joka.
Na unasikia nini?
Mimi nasikia steam. Hebu vuta kiasi. 2,000. Lakini si mbaya.
Ni mbaya sana.
Hiyo mara ya kwanza ndio mtu ukohoa, lakini ukivuta mara ya pili ya tatu, inakuwa mzuri. Kuja base yetu ndakufundisha hadi kuchemba.
Kids like Steve grow up in an unstable and violent environment where theft, fight, and prevarication are constantly all around you. And if you get hurt, no one gives a shit.
Umefanya nini hapa?
Mimi iko Bondo na gari.
Umeenda daktari?
Sijaenda.
Kwa nini?
Sina pesa.
Without money, you have to make do because this city doesn't give you anything. It just takes and takes and takes. Especially when you meet some of the many corrupt cops standing at the side of the road. All they want is your money. It's from them that Steve and his friends must hide when the sun goes down. In order to find them, we have to go and look in the slums.
We are in the outskirts of Nairobi, and this is one of the areas where street children come and sleep. Na umefanya miaka mingapi katika barabara?
Katika barabara? Miaka 3. Maisha mabaya. Unajua tena bezi ni kubaya. Watu wanapigana na machupa. Juu unaweza kufia kwa bezi ama ushikwe.
Unalala wapi?
Ndani.
It's really unbelievable. I mean, he's sleeping in this very small tunnel.
Like an army of rats, street children sneak into these tunnels to spend the night. No one cares about them, except an Italian organization called Amani, which has been active for years all over Nairobi to provide hundreds of kids at least 2 hot meals a week. The luckiest of them get a golden opportunity too. A chance to get away from streets, glue, and jet fuel and build their own future. A boy like Steve doesn't go unnoticed.
He's young, smart, and he's got potential.
And most importantly, chemical solvents haven't messed with his brain yet.
Therefore, Amani has decided to make him an offer. To move into the Kivuli Center, where tens of young boys and girls like him are rescued, fed, and sent back to school.
Ningependa kusema asante. Wameniona nikafurahia. Nilikuwa nilala kwa karibu. Na nilikuwa mpenzi. Hadi kuchaza kula nini. Mungu. Unaweza pata na homa kama mimi sasa niko na homa kwa baridi usiku. Naona hapa ni pazuri. Hata kukinyesha kwezi ingia maji.
Hakuwezi ingia maji. Tena uruke kwa nyingine tuone vile utalala.
Tuko nje tualala kwa vumbi.
Kwa vumbi.
Ndio nalala kwa mawe. Kwa manyasi unaona ngapi? Ukinyesha. Sasa watu wanamkanga usiku wanaenda kukaa.
Wewe unaenda ndio hiyo. Nikia magoti Kila mtu ampatia haki.
Da 20 anni a questa parte siamo in Kenya per sostenere progetti sociali per il recupero dei bambini di strada. Io quando vado a vedere i bambini di strada La prima cosa che mi viene da pensare è non c'è futuro. Nel momento in cui i bambini entrano nel centro e mangiano e hanno tutto ciò che gli serve per vivere, lasciano anche con una certa facilità l'uso delle droghe. Conosco molti di loro che oggi lavorano, hanno studiato, sono arrivati fino all'università e oggi, per esempio, uno di loro da che sniffava colla o sniffava carburante per aerei, oggi per esempio lavora in banca.
Nikitumia kuna senye nakanga chini nafikiriaje, hii kitu nilifanyanga best yangu akakufa, lakini sasa nimeona chance mzuri ya kuacha.
Many other children can be rescued from the streets and from Nairobi's devastating liquid drugs. The NGO Amani for Africa takes care of them. We have witnessed how they work in the field. If you want to help out, you can make a donation. Here is how you can find them.
You know, I guess all I want to say is this. The next time one of these, and it could be anybody, I'm just using this clown and Umar Johnson, all of them. Listen, if you don't understand they're all addicts to begin with, then you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I mean, even Nasheed knows that Umar, there's something about. He gave an interview not that long ago with his, Umar's like, sniffing, eyes bulging out, all blah 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 blah. Like, obviously, we all know what addiction is. We all know. Just because this guy might not do drugs, it doesn't mean he doesn't drink or addicted to money and greed. Sotomayor, we all know. Like, and I'm just naming these three because I have the most knowledge about them. And I'm sure there's 100 more. But the next time one of them even dare to ask you for money, I want you to think about somebody like Little Steve, or any one of those thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of kids that come from nothing, that have nothing, again, that nobody cares about. How's your air conditioner right now? How's your, is your stomach full? Like, what are you going to have for dinner tomorrow? What are you watching on your big 50-inch flat screen TV? How's your iPhone? Is my voice coming through okay? This is what I'm telling you about perspective. And yet you people have given Tariq Nasheed $1 million. When there has been foundations like Amani in Africa for over 20 years. And let's not even, maybe consider Africa. What about in your city? What about in your town? You don't think there's kids that need your help? But you're going to give $1 million to a grown psychotic man who's addicted to money and greed and delusion and playing dress up. And you have a legion of people who are there for hook, line, and sinker. I'm going to read some of these comments. This is O'Shea Duke, and he's talking about Dr. Umar Johnson praises Tariq Nasheed for reaching $1 million for the Hidden History Museum. Do none of you know that there are thousands of Black history museums? Do you not know that? And read some of the comments. To all the non-FBA that's supported this campaign, much love and respect, family. This is the day of unity, is it? So why haven't you given money to one of the 10,000 other Black History museums if this, in your mind, caused a day of unity? The Hidden History Museum is a great example that Black people can build and create something on our own without outside financing. As a matter of fact, it will be the best example we had in a long time. It shows our power to accomplish anything when we pool our resources. Pay attention, diaspora. One love. We can fund ourselves out of poverty. I love this. Much love, African diaspora. You've done nothing, but put $1 million in the bank account of somebody who's already proven to you time and time and time and time and time again that he and his family are the only ones who benefit from the millions of dollars you have given them. What is the Tariq Nasheed endowment? Where? Show me $1. Show me $1 of charity. One. You can't. But yet you're brainwashed into this whole, this is us, we did it, yes, it's unity, we fund ourselves out. You've done nothing. You made him even richer. That is it. And if this place ever gets built, you're gonna pay to walk in it. And if you're already interested in this, I promise you it's going to be nothing you don't already know. This is the biggest waste of money I've seen to date concerning these three charlatans. To date, this is the biggest take of just unbelievable proportions. Just unbelievable. I don't think people can really wrap their heads around how much $1 million actually is. Tariq Nasheed could shut it down right now. Done. Never go back on the internet. Never have to sit there and beg and beg and beg. Try the pimp game. Try the self-help books. Try the public speaking. Try the guru attempt. Try the rap career. Try the 1990s, Wet and Moist, Fly Young Red, Montel Williams approach. Try this, try that, throw spaghetti on the wall, this'll stick, this'll stick. The whole time, a bunch of low IQ dummies are funding it. They keep buying pots and pots and pots of spaghetti for Nasheed to throw off the wall. Whatever sticks, sticks. Will you please wake up and quit fucking wasting your life and your money on bums? Covert Radio. Didn't want to make it this long, but it did. If you watch that video at the end and you can now look at your life the same, then don't come back here again. You guys take care. Have a good day.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All free citizens. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All that can hear. America has been overthrown. Repeat, America has been overthrown. Communist occupation. Repeat, heavy communist occupation. Okay?